But they was talking about, again, let me continue. They was talking about the marriage of the marriage that takes place in Galilee at the time, and how important it is to know what the marriage was all about. All right, during the marriage in that time frame, once the bride commits themselves to be married, the marriage doesn't happen for over a year afterwards. And the thing is, the only person knows, not the bride, not the husband, not the bride, but the father knew. The father, the only person, knew when the marriage would begin. So the thing was, the bridesmaids and everybody else had to always be ready in that year time. But they know soon, within that year, the father will wake up the son and say, go get your bride. So in the meantime, the bride has to always be ready. The bride couldn't be out partying and doing what she wanted to do, living for the world. She had to stay ready for her husband. And the bridesmaid had to be by her side too. And everybody who, the father will wake up most of the time in the night watches, wake up his son and be like, go get your bride. And everybody who has been to the marriage, once the door shut, nobody else could enter in. That's how Galilean marriage went. I can't remember the name of the documentary, but it's important. The marriage. You see, right now, us as Christians, us as followers of Christ, you know what we are? We're in the engagement process. We're in the preparation process. We're getting ready for Jesus to come and get us. And we don't want to be out there living a life not worthy and be caught slipping. If you call yourself a follower of Christ, let's put it this way. You are dedicated to Christ. You see, the world, the new traditions of the world and marriage is totally different. You know, before the husband and the wife gets married in this world, the world of tradition is to have a bachelor party or a bachelorette party where you get all the last evil out. And I'm sure everybody knows what a bachelor and a bachelorette party consists of. Well, I can honestly say I never indulged in either or. In reality, I never even been to a bachelor party. Even when other people get married, people just try to throw me a bachelor party. No. My wife, no bachelorette party. I remember I was in the military, and it was a little tradition when I was over there in California. The first time I saw this, the women and the bridesmaids would go all night on the town with a list of tasks to accomplish throughout the night. And the bride would have her wedding gown thing on to let people know that she's the bride. And she had certain things she had to do before the night was over. Unlawful, unholy things. If a lot of people probably knew what went on at their bachelorette party and bachelor party, they probably wouldn't be married today. You think God is going to allow us to just live how we want our whole life? Like, I'm a Christian and I'm married to you, Lord, but I just want to live for the world. I don't want to live for you because, I'm going to wait till the last minute and try to get myself right. Well, the dangers in that is, he said they got these books. They got these books. And then they got the book of life. But they got these books that has all your works in them. All your deeds. Everything that you do is in there. He said it's better to not have known me than to know me and to return, to go backwards, You understand what I'm saying? I may not be word for word and exactly what I'm saying, but you know exactly what I'm saying. To know better and not do better is like not knowing him at all. It's just worse for you. You understand? Don't be like the world. There's a lot of worldly traditions that go on that are so contrary to the Bible that it's ridiculous. And people do it because it's fun. Go out. Let's get some strippers. It's the last day before you get married. Whatever happens then, that's it, man. Hey. It's how foolish. You know, I watched a movie not too long ago. And I can't remember the name of it, but Bruce Willis was in it. And it was a husband and a wife, soon to be. They were about to get married. And they had a choice to make. The women was trying to throw the woman, the bride, bachelorette party, and the men were throwing the man was throwing the man a bachelor party. And the man was like, I don't really want to go out. I'd rather spend time with you. But everybody urged for them to go out. Well, I'm tell you what happened in the story. The bride went out and somebody kidnapped her. They kidnapped the bride. You understand? They kidnapped her on that night. So they spent the whole movie trying to get her back. Wow. Crazy, ain't it? But his mind said, in the movie, look at the movie, the premonition. I'd rather just spend time with you. You see, but you got the world out there trying to tell you, come over here. Try to entice you. As normally, it never goes well when you listen to the voice of charmers. You understand? Get your house in order. Houston, get your house in order. You at the sound of my voice, get your house in order. Don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about what people doing. You don't never go nowhere no more. Well, I'm trying to get ready. What are you trying to do? You're no fun anymore. Well, the word says, when you start giving your life to Christ, and you start living for Christ, they're going to find it strange that you no longer run to them to the same excess and rioting. They're going to find it strange. I heard it all the time. You used to be just like us. Well, I'm not saying I'm better than you, but I would rather just stay home. One thing I know, God said he gave me all things to enjoy, but I don't have to enjoy it out there in the world. Do you understand? I don't have to be out there caught slipping. I can be right at home. You understand? I can tell you stories right now that lets me know that God does not want me out there. But I say that for another time. But I'm ready to get that part of my testimony. But I'm going to give you a little part. Every time I listened and I went out there and I tried to do what they do, it went bad for me. You see, I tell people all the time, when you're a Christian, when you're a follower of Christ, you can't get away with what other people get away with. God's going to make sure you know why not to do it. But only a Christian person can understand this. Only a follower of Christ, a true follower of Christ, will really understand what I'm saying. You can't do what other people do because God called you out of it. He won't allow you. He'll make that day one of the worst days of your life so you won't do it again. I told you not to go out there. You still think it's fun? You might have fun the whole time. You might be there for 3 hours, 4 hours. But before you get to that doorstep, God's going to let you know, hey, I don't want you out there. I don't want you out there. I don't want you out there in the world. You got this house right here. Look around, Houston. Look around, person at the sound of my voice. Look at your house. Didn't I get that for you? Did I allow you to get that so you can relax here? What you got to do? You know how many times you have to do what the word says, and he says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to say no. I ain't going to lie, I ain't all the way there yet. People call me, hey man, you want to come over here? I don't know, man. I think about it. I'll let you know. When in reality, I need to be like, nah, man, I ain't going nowhere. I'm chilling at the house. I need to just start telling the truth. But I doubt it. I'm having a good time here. You know what's crazy though? Most of the time when somebody want to get me out the house, it's a bit of time when I done cook, I done barbecue, I got me a few beers here. I got everything I need at the house, and then I get a call. Hey, come over here. But common sense kind of kicks in. You like, God just had you cook a meal, prepare it, paid your power bill, paid your cable bill, allows you to cook on the grill, gave you a house, and you just prepped everything to stay home, and then here come the enemy saying, leave your own home. Well, I got everything for you. You got to pay attention this day and age, people. You got people in this world that spend more time in the world than more time than they spend at home. I'm trying to push an issue to people. You've been praying for it. You've been praying for that nice house. You've been praying for it. You've been praying for that nice grill. You done got that new Ninja Shark blender. You got the ice maker refrigerator. You even got some strawberry daiquiri mixed in your refrigerator. And a few bottles of liquor. And you still want to go out. And God done prep your house to have everything that your heart desires. You even got a pool. But you want to go everywhere else except home. Oh, you unappreciative person. You've been praying for me for all this and that, and now you won't even enjoy it? Because the world got you confused. Am I saying it's something wrong with going to the beach and having a good time with your family sometime? But you know what? You better learn to have some home good times. Some home good times. Let's put it this way. God is going to put some balance in your life. Home first. You're trying to get home. What's a good way to get home? Stay there. But you know what I'm saying is over a lot of people's head. But you got kind of preachers out there. God wants you to go on vacation. He wants you to enjoy your life here. Yeah, he do. But you misleading folks. God want to give you so much finances that you can go places. The disciples stayed on vacation. What were they doing? Ministering the word. They was on vacation all the time. In all reality, the work of evangelist is never done. There's always work to do. Just put yourself in this mindset. No matter if you're going somewhere, make sure you got Christ with you. Make sure you're doing his work. Well, back to testimony time. No matter what, whenever God sent me out, or whenever I disobeyed, I ain't gonna say he sent me nowhere. Whenever I disobeyed and went according to my heart's desire, guess what I end up doing before I even leave the establishment? I'm going to end up doing some kind of ministry. And then I'm going to do the ministry what God called me to do. And then I'm going to go through pure hell for disobeying. And I'm still going to do what he asked me to do. Wow. But you know what, though? There's going to come a time when I'm going to be strong enough and you're going to be strong enough to go out there and not indulge and minister. It's hard out there. Don't get me wrong. It's hard out there, people. Am I telling you this is an easy process? Just remember, you are waiting for the husband, which is the Christ, to come get you. So work out your life here in fear and trembling, because you're trying to do what's pleasing to the Christ, which is your husband. And this is not no homosexual type thing. It's spiritual. You understand? It's spiritual. A spiritual marriage. You have been into the spiritual marriage. And the thing is, all have been to the spiritual marriage, but all don't want to go. How do you know if they don't want to go? By how they live, how they act, how they walk, how they talk. All that stuff come into play. Mainly by their heart. Their heart. And God knows the heart. So what are you going to do? Are you going to prep yourself? Because you see what happens to the people who didn't live for Christ, that didn't come to the marriage. That same glorious voice to some is going to become a snare to others. A stumbling block, as the word says. So what are you going to do? Are you going to spend your time here living more for the world or more for God? You see, Jesus came into your life to balance you out. But guess what way he's trying to balance you more to? Him. You see, we all use this, we all sin and fall short of the glory of God. That is true. It's not a man that does not sin. But you can't use that as a reason to keep doing evil or to keep misbehaving, because you know your Father going to forgive you. You understand? Let's put it like this. For all the people who don't make it, consider that a divorce. And God hates divorce. He does. He hates divorce. But guess how many people are going to be estranged? Now let's go back to what it means. All the people who are committed fornication and adultery and whoredoms with that great whore. What's the only reason for a man or a woman to divorce their husband or their wife? Oh, I'm finna go on a spiritual level here. Adultery. Oh, whoredom. Fornication. Well, in a spiritual sense, when you go a whoring after other things than God, you have committed adultery. God hates divorce. So you know how much it pains him to leave people on the outside. Oh man, I hope you got that message. I hope you got that message. It's actually one of the commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Now let's go to the spiritual sense. No other gods before me. So if you worship another God, you're a cheater. Well, I only do a little witchcraft. You're a cheater. I only worship other gods every once in a while. You're a cheater. You are committing adultery with the Lord. I didn't say it. The word said it. Think about it. He said, all the people that committed fornication with her. Is everybody going to physically have sex with the beast? Oh, man, am I going over your head today? I'm sorry. I told you it's a such thing as spiritual adultery and spiritual fornication. It's up to you to figure that out. Through Christ. But let me pause and I will continue.